Thanks for what Morgan's suggesting that they do on the 6th of December and leading up to that, and then even post that. Let me give you a bit of a picture around what's happening in Australia at the moment. Out there, it's cloudy, and potentially we might get some rain today. And let's hope, please God, that it dampens some of those bushfires around the countryside. We started last year with 120 odd farmers on our books asking for help. Last October, we had 128 registered just in that 1 month, so a year's worth in 1 month. October this year, as in last month, we had over 900. When we look at delivering $600,000 or $700,000 worth of water to farmers' tanks over the last few months, again, numbers that we'd never dealt with before, but pardon the pun, it's just the drop in the bucket. People still have no water when they turn on the tap. Some things that we take for granted every single day of the week. Getting up this morning, we all probably had breakfast. We all have a shower. Some of us had a shave. But some of these guys, it's just not a reality for them. One of the things that we're looking at with the proceeds from what Morgan's raised is are these things. Prepaid Visa cards, they're called country cards. We had them made up a year or two ago, and it was something really that changed the way we delivered support to farmers. They get a letter just like this, and it's not loaded until we load it, so we can get through the mail nice and cheaply without registered post, and then we can put any amount they like on it. Then the money that they use stays in their local economy. The challenge that we've had right from the beginning is that the first instinct we want to do to help people is to give them stuff. Food, clothes, anything that we think they need. The challenge of that first, of course, number one is logistics, but the bigger one is what happens to those local economies. When we're providing free stuff for them, they don't need to shop locally. Now, if they don't have it, they've got to get it somehow. They've got to eat food. To have a young mum call in and say, Mr. Thomson, I just want to ask a couple of questions before I use this card. Can I choose what I buy with the card myself? And she's crying at this point. When you have a 70-year-old man on the phone crying because you've just delivered him a load of water and he's actually asking you if he can run a bath. Very powerful things. Anyway, this young mum says, can I choose what I buy? I said, absolutely, it's yours. And she's crying her heart out. And she said, well, for 9 months, we've been eating food boxes from the church. We haven't had fresh fruit and veggies for 9 months. Husband, wife, 2 kids. This is in Australia, not in the middle of Africa. This is in Australia. This is very real. The card gives them the opportunity to spend it locally. Then the shopkeeper can pay their bills. The mechanic, we had a beautiful email come back from a mechanic the other day. 3 farmers had brought in their cards to pay their bills. They just said, thank you so much. We can now pay our bills. One of the unis suggested that the money will go around 7 times within the economy. It's just absolutely magic. So where does that leave us? We're now well up over 10,000 farmers asking for help, and that grows every single day. Every day we're literally, our staff has grown from 7 at the beginning of last year to well over 40, just to try and cope with delivering that support. We, as a charity, we want the money to come in. We need it to come in, but we need it to go out just as quickly as it comes in. And over the last year, we've delivered $30 or $40 million worth of support directly to the farmers. And what we can say is that everything that we raise in this Morgan's promo will go directly to the farmers. Our overheads are well and truly covered, so that every cent that we raise goes in practical support. And gift cards are just the simple, easy, most practical and most beneficial way of doing that. It's quick and easy to get it out there. The hay we're buying at the moment is from South Australia, long way away. And we've got to freight it across because that's just what's available. Water, in every case, the delivery of the water is so much more expensive than the actual water. And so gift cards, it's simple. It costs $1 to post it out, and every single cent can be used by the farmer in their local economy. And so it's just an absolutely magic thing to do. Last night we were at the AHA Awards and, talking to a lot of the hotels around New South Wales here. When I talked about this, it was a massive standing ovation because those guys are struggling as well. Now, I'm not suggesting that people go and, spend it at the bar, but at least they can buy themselves dinner or do something nice. To have a mum, through her tears say, is it okay, I want to get my hair cut? She'd been cutting her hair in the mirror for 12 months. Again, dignity, And so one farmer out near Orange recently, he, through his tears and his leather hands and that stereotypical farmer with the hat that died 10 years ago, and through his tears he said that this morning I sent my daughter to school with her shoes taped on her feet. This is a town called Molong, just past Orange. I mean, it's, again, not in Central Africa. And this poor guy was looking forward to spending $40, $30 on getting his young daughter a pair of shoes. He said that it became a bit of an issue because the only tape he had was white. The kids' shoes had to be black, so he had to go a couple of farms up the road and get some black insulation tape to tape her shoes on with the black tape. So there's some very tough things happening, some things that, we don't even think about. To have, again, a mum call in and talk about the children, 8-year-old daughter, 10-year-old son, go out with dad in the dark and count dead sheep before school in the morning. Like, these are realities that they're dealing with every single day. And we don't see it. The challenge, we know every time it rains, people think, oh, great, tick, drought over. All of the rain we've had hasn't made an impact anywhere. Queensland, the flood, all they did was wash their last stock down the river. They're back in drought. New South Wales here was still up in the high 90s, like 99% drought declared. This is a massive issue. The flow on from it. Yesterday I spoke to Capilano about bees. My God, it's a massive, massive impact. No one's thought of them because they're little bees. Massive issues there that we're going to have to, again, find an avenue to support those guys. 2/3 of what we consume is impacted by bees. 1/3 of Coles and Woolies disappears with no bees. These are massive things, and we've got to stop and look and say, how can we address this? How can we impact it? And through what you guys are doing, possibly what your clients may do as well to help support us. There's no limit. There's no. Last year, Woolies, wonderful, $8 million, fantastic. We needed that. When you place an order for hay that's $3 million, or $5 million worth of gift cards or whatever, you need the big ones. But it's the little 94-year-old grandma just across the harbour there that called in and spoke to Robin last year, and she said, look, I'm a farming widow. I actually don't have any money, but I know they need my help. So on Thursday, when my pension comes in, I'll walk down to the post office, I'll get a $40 money order and I'll send it in because they need my help. That's giving. And that's really what this has brought about in Australia, is Australians helping Australians, mates helping mates, city people helping the folks in the country. At the end of the day, we do this because we need them. We don't exist without farmers. Our society doesn't. We need farmers. So the message that I want to give them is that there's a group of individuals from a company called Morgan's, and they care about you. And that's it. And really, that's the message that we want to get across to the farmers, that every single opportunity touch point that we have is that these people care about you. And on the 6th of December, they're going to care by dipping in their pockets or by, buying a sausage or something. But they care. And that's the impact that we've got to get across, that there are people that care about them. They're not alone. So thank you so much. We really look forward to working together, and we really appreciate your support. Thank you.